The Scorpion is one of the big three Trader Vic cocktails, along with the vodka and the Mai Tai. It's one of the most famous Trader Vic cocktails that's been around since the 1930s. The first references to the Scorpion that at least I've seen is from 1939, and it appears along with the first mentions of Trader Vic's vodka. The drink is very much Trader Vic's, with a split base of rum and brandy, lots and lots of lemon juice, and his signature ingredient for all of the big three cocktails, orgeat. The recipe evolved over the years, first appearing in 1946 as a Scorpion with rum, gin, brandy, and white wine. This was a punch and not an individual cocktail. In the 1972 Bartender's Guide, it would be brandy rum with no wine, and this is the go-to recipe for most people today. But in 1976, we see the Scorpion Punch recipe once again, with a recipe that matches the one that first came about 30 years earlier. And what's probably overlooked by most in regards to the Scorpion's history and its origin is that it is a rare, true Polynesian cocktail. At least, kind of. Almost all of Tiki have origins to the Caribbean, and the irony of these faux Polynesian Tiki bars is that they serve you Polynesian atmosphere, Chinese food, and Caribbean cocktails. But according to Trader Vic, the Scorpion has roots to Hawaii. Sometime, most likely in the 1930s, Trader Vic attended a luau in the Manoa Valley and was served a Scorpion in a coconut, and the drink was made with rum and Okolehao, a Hawaiian spirit distilled from tea root. What else was in that Scorpion, we don't know. I've never seen a reference to it from Hawaii, and it's clear to me that it most likely did not contain orgeat, gin, brandy, or white wine. Vic said that the original with Okolehao and rum, the Scorpion, is at its best. But the following formulation that he gives is practically as good in infusion as the original. The Scorpion is often served in a large bowl with a flaming center, and I don't have that bowl, but I do have the Menehune Compote bowl, which is often used when they serve the Scorpion for two people. And if you look back to the first pictures of the Scorpion back in the 1940s, it was served in a similar style bowl. I'm still going to go for the single serving today because it's just me, and I'm not entirely sure how much I'm going to love this drink. And before we get to making this one, this video comes to us from Make and Drink Patreon member Brandon Christensen, who is a member of the Mai Tai tier, where you can request a video on a specific cocktail to be made here on YouTube. There have now been a couple of these requests for historic cocktails that I hadn't really planned on doing, at least not at this exact time. But this is one of Brandon's favorites, and what's pretty cool is I did not know a lot of the connection here to Hawaii before diving into this one, even though Trader Vic does mention this in several of his books. So let's make a Scorpion, and we'll be making the one from the 1972 Bartender's Guide. For this one, you'll need lemon juice, orange juice, orgeat, brandy or cognac, and a light rum. Now, this is one of the rarer occasions where the trader does say to use an electric drink mixer, which we will do, starting with 1.5 ounces of lemon juice, 2 ounces of orange juice, 1/2 ounce of orgeat, 1 ounce of brandy, which I don't usually keep, so I'm using cognac instead, and 2 ounces of a light Puerto Rican Spanish-style rum. Trader Vic's Scorpion. All right, let's try it. I mean, it's very tart. I don't want to say it's too tart. It's definitely on the scale of acceptable tartness of drinks. Is it approaching too tart? But I don't know. I like drinks that have a little bit more acidity to them, just to change things up from time to time. And lemon juice acidity is a lot more palatable, I think, in a high level than lime juice, because it's just citric acid. It's just that clean acidity. The orange juice helps balance it out. The orgeat, getting the sweetness there from both of those. The light rum is doing pretty much nothing, but you do get the cognac. I don't keep brandy on hand, so I only have like, I don't know, 3 or 4 bottles of cognac. So it tastes like a lemon, orange juice, cognac cocktail. It is quintessential Trader Vic. If you look at the template of the fog cutter, you look at this, and then you can even see where the Mai Tai is similar because of just the format. He has much more of a bend towards classic cocktails than the Caribbean cocktails, but also like in the 1930s, I don't know if he had been to the Caribbean yet. So a lot of his first book, and when you look at those older recipes from Trader Vic, it's a lot based on the pre-Prohibition era cocktails, the Jerry Thomas style cocktails. He has so many recipes in his books that are kind of just regular basic cocktails, not the exotic tropical cocktails we think of. And then when he does start to do the exotic and tropical names, they're not really in the Don the Beachcomber template where you have lots of spice. It's its own thing. And as much as I want to be respectful of that, it's not my favorite style of cocktails, but that did help, Trader Vic kind of built upon that background. I think that's why you get a lot of his cocktails that are a lot more subdued and a lot more that feeling classic than Don the Beachcomber. The rum that I chose was Brugal, which is not Puerto Rican. It's from the Dominican Republic. But in Trader Vic's books, he calls out rums, he calls out styles of rums, Puerto Rican style rum, and then he will say Brugal. So Brugal shows up in a lot of his books, but it's just ABV in the background there. It's the brandy that you get the most. Is it my favorite cocktail from Trader Vic? No, it is not. Is it bad? No. It's a rite of passage, okay? It's one of the big Trader Vic drinks. Do I like this more than the fog cutter? I don't know. I think that they're kind of the same in some regards. But it is something that's important to look at the foundation of Trader Vic. And I can understand why people would like this drink. And I think it definitely has more of that lemon and sweet and a little bit of spirit component. And it's an entry point to, I think, a lot of people getting into this because they look at the classic Trader Vic cocktails, and this is one of them. And I know from Brandon from Patreon that this was one of the ones that he first fell in love with. So that is it for this one. It's one of the big 3, Trader Vic's Scoprion. Now we've done all 3, the big 3. The Mai Tai keeps coming up around and around and around again. Will the fog cutter and the Scoprion ever come back? Probably not. So that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below. If you want to support this channel more, go check out that Patreon page. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.